Wanted to share again with you something that's been on my heart. I remember my mother saying many times that growing up, she could be excited about all the amazing things that God did through the life of Abraham, Noah, Moses, Esther, Ruth, Deborah, Daniel, etc., 5,000 or whatever years ago. But she was sorry that it seemed like God wasn't doing anything in lives since then. Wow, that's a tragedy, because what we're asking our kids to do is get on board with everything that God is trying to do in the world right now, and He so excitingly works through human beings. Well, guess what? All these great biographies are ways in which we get to show kids that God is still very, very, very much excited to work through us, to do brave things, hard things, challenging things, to overcome diseases, mountain chains, to rescue people, etc., to get slaves out on the Underground Railroad. There's all sorts of ways in which we can still get on board with God today. A lot of parents are feeling really, really hopeless. That it feels like the culture is swallowing their children up whole. It feels like their children are listless, restless, resentful, purposeless. There's a reason, because they don't usually get to today meet or vicariously experience anything epic. Instead, most kids today only get images which don't penetrate deeply like language does. We talked about that previously. Language was a special gift from God because it precisely carries everything important and meaningful down into our heart of hearts, the eternal part of us. But what we get instead is textbooks oriented just towards our brains, which aren't eternal. And yes, we read the Bible, and that's the greatest thing of all, and we'll never take away from that. But there's so much more that we can do. So if your child feels like he's without purpose, without meaning, like he's just going through the motions, and so he craves entertainment as an anesthetic, if he feels kind of despondent and adrift and disconnected, he's aching to become a hero. And he's aching for the deep relationship that comes from not only knowing God in a spiritual way, as crucially important as that is, but he also wants to know everything about God, everything that God says is important and true in every field: art, technology, governments, laws, business, economies, communities. Everything that God says, we have a chance to build a relationship for our children, with our teens, and all of these matters. They can know Him personally and what He has personally to say about discovery, about geography, about health, about how society should be structured. Remember how important this is. We feed our children generally, the whole culture does, I'm saying, just the most superficial and sterile, because the world doesn't want to acknowledge this vast immaterial realm of the King of Kings. But that is exactly what we want to do. How do we do that outside of the importance of Bible and church? Monday through Saturday, we do it by getting them into living books, which is where they meet great people and great ideas and build these deep relationships. God is just as active today. He wants heroes just as much today as He ever has done. He lives and breathes and moves through His people. I understand this may seem impossible to you because you don't remember reading any book this powerful. Of course, they were taken away before you were even of age to read them yourselves. They've been gone for a long time now, but I'm old enough to have seen the power, to see the impact, and to know how they bring young people alive, even reluctant readers. So it's an untouched field even for you. But there is a power here that can help accomplish everything you've been dreaming of, even if you've not tasted it yet yourself. Help your children. Have every single day become part of getting on board with what He is doing and becoming someone that God can use in a powerful way so that their life has incredible meaning and impact. That is what is at your fingertips. That's what all of these library ministries are all about, is helping you do that. So we don't just help you get a few factoids or fulfill an assignment, but actually to go deep into purpose and meaning, and a well-written book filled with the power of language to carry ultimate truth and principles and ideas and values and characters right to the heart of hearts is exactly what is available to you. Come untap it. Come take advantage. feed deeply. Feed your children and teens deeply. You will see them come to life. You will see purpose grow in them. It will be the greatest thing you've almost ever done. Bless your heart. We're excited to help.